It's no secret that Gotham Knights released with a bit of controversy. I myself was conflicted on whether or not I would pick this game up, but a wise man once said, don't knock it till you try it. So I bought Gotham Knights in order to fulfill my desire to avenge Batman and become the hero Gotham City needed. If you haven't heard of this game before, it's a Batman family game, and just know it was not developed by the studio who developed the Arkham games. Now I know it's cool to hate on this game, but listen, I went for the platinum so you didn't have to, and I'm gonna show you how I enjoyed it. You can play as any of the 4 characters I showed earlier and even play an online co-op. I chose to play as Nightwing. We start off with learning how to be a detective, solve crimes, while trying to figure out what happened to Batman. Don't worry, I won't spoil anything story related in this video. We soon get our first taste of stealth, and then soon after, some combat. And listen, I was not very good at the combat at first. I want to emphasize that you are not supposed to mash square. You can actually combo up and perform stronger hits by timing the square button, which I learned much later. We're then introduced to the Bat Cycle, which becomes an important mode of transportation, and of course it has its own trophy later. Afterwards, we get access to our abilities. Each character has unique abilities, by the way, and here's our reward for our first unlock. Up next, we channel our inner mystery gang and get up to no good. We start meddling in places we clearly shouldn't be, and we end up in a predicament. Gotham Knights has cameras in different levels, which you obviously do not want to be seen by. There's always a way to disable the cameras though, which is what I'm going to do. Or later, you can unlock a certain ability for a certain character that I certainly did not know about or choose. This game breaks down its story trophies by case files, which is nice because it makes it really easy to know how far along you are and when the next trophy is going to pop. There's also challenges, side quests, and collectibles grouped into here for some more trophies later. Of course, many of the ongoing activities around Gotham City involve stopping crimes, much like any other superhero game. We're given optional objectives, which I tried to complete as often as possible because it rewarded us with some bonus XP. Okay, before we dive any deeper, I need to address the elephant in the room. A major reason why people hate on this game is because it runs at 30 frames per second. I don't really care though, because it still looks amazing, and part of the reason why I enjoyed it is because the different areas of the game were very distinct and detailed. We're frequently introduced to new baddies, and by baddies I strictly mean enemies.
Why you always lying?
After taking out some bad guys, we unlock our next story trophy. So we're always thrown into more detective work because Gotham City just cannot make it easy for us. We couple this with some more stealth work, of course, because we can't let the baddies know we're coming, and pretty soon we find ourselves with a puzzle. This game definitely loves to throw puzzles at you to keep you on your toes. I can't lie, I had to look up a guide for this puzzle. And then we come across this fire trap here, which was insanely over the top if you ask me. I mean, come on, whichever engineer designed this thing was out of their minds. Like, who did they think was going to run through here? Who was their target audience? This reminds me of those videos of people doing crazy workouts in the gym. Like, what are you even training for? Some people are just extra. The baddies we're fighting in this game were probably forcing those engineers to fit in as much fire and death traps as they possibly could, or else. If they ever wanted to see their families again, they had to figure out new ways to fit more fire into this little chamber here. The worst part is it worked! Watch how ridiculous this is.
Fatality. Nope.
By now, I was getting flustered and I had to recall the words of a wise man once again. Perseverance is the key. I decided to stop rushing and learn the pattern each time I died, and let me tell you, it felt really good to finally beat this part. Thankfully, we're quickly rewarded as well. Thankfully, after that traumatizing death trap experience, we're rewarded for our efforts further by unlocking the Knighthood trophy. This not only unlocks a new way of getting around, but we also unlock a new skill tree, which is cool again because each character's skills is unique to them. I wasted no time in testing out my new goodie here. Trust me, traversing the city just became 10 times easier. Our friend Nightwing here continues getting up to no good and meddling with villains by finding himself deep in this mine. And of course, a few moments later, he has to run for his dear life and escape this mine, which brings us to our next trophy. Just a few minutes later, I earned a trophy for completing a Harley Quinn crime for a side quest. We'll go back to Harley Quinn later. Back to the main storyline, we find ourselves sneaking around some Court of Owl enemies until we get into some combat. The Court of Owls is one of the different factions of enemies in the game. Unsurprisingly, we come across another puzzle soon after that I totally did not have to look up the solution to, I swear.
Why you always?
After some cutscenes, we earn our next trophy. Nightwing continues to get up to no good, and we find ourselves in this elaborate labyrinth. Try saying that 5 times fast. There's several different traps here that we need to crouch to get past, or simply wait for the timing to allow us to maneuver around. Obviously, there's no shortage of more fire traps. Those engineers were really hard at work, okay? And yes, we come across another puzzle. This one was much simpler, and I actually, truth be told, did not look up the solution to this one. We then prove ourselves against this gladiator talon enemy and fight our way out of the labyrinth for our next trophy. One of the ways we conduct our detective work in Gotham Knights is to brutally beat some baddies and then interrogate them to squeeze some info out of them. You have to do this to progress the story. So I just scanned all the enemies. If I didn't explain already, before you can interrogate anybody, you have to scan and look for an enemy with a question mark. And now I know I can knock everybody else out, and that enemy right there is the one I have to interrogate. After gathering some intel, we channel our inner Assassin's Creed and start scaling this building, which I was a fan of. Scaling this building is pretty cool, I'll be honest. We take out some more guards in our way because these guys just do not learn that Nightwing should not be messed with. In fact, let me show you an example of some of Nightwing's combat abilities, since I haven't shown that off yet. We have what's called momentum abilities at our disposal, which can be combined with elemental effects for some cool techniques. Oh, nice, I leveled up. I bet you wouldn't have guessed that a puzzle was up next, or you probably did by this point, let's be honest. Some people may not know. I think I might have said it on stream before, but I actually really like Sudoku. I'm a big fan of Sudoku, so this is actually a pretty cool puzzle. I like this. Should be done in a second here. There we go. A few moments later, I tried my best to be stealthy, but I was failing, so instead, I decided to just full send it to the other side like a trooper. This pays off and provides a much needed dopamine rush by popping the next trophy. With 6 out of 8 main story case files completed, I was at level 17, which meant I was a high enough level to fully complete the Knighthood skill tree. This of course meant something very significant. A worthy successor. I mentioned earlier that I enjoyed this game because of the different areas of the game you could explore, and this is just another example of that. We get to explore Arkham Asylum. This game's version of the prison is nothing like the game Arkham Asylum, so don't expect anything like that. Our objective here is to navigate the dilapidated prison and find ways around while chasing leads on our current case file. There is no shortage of combat, of course, with some League assassins, which we make quick work of now that we have our Knighthood abilities maxed out. We also come across this tower here, which I thought was pretty cool, and what do you know? Another puzzle. This one had me stumped for a little bit, I can't lie, but it became clear what I needed to do, and again, I did not need to look up a guide. We're then introduced to another enemy, which is called a man-bat. This fight is framed as a boss battle, but the man-bats actually become repeatable encounters later, so it's nothing too crazy. Of course, as all things go, we soon earn our next trophy for our second to last story case file. Now we get to explore some caves, which is a pretty neat area, mainly because it's the collapsed Batcave. We come across some Batman memorabilia like this giant penny here from one of Batman's earliest cases. We get to sliding around and making use of our hardcore parkour skills before a series of cutscenes and boss fights, which I cannot show you. Just know that it's pretty crazy and pretty cool, but that completes the main story and earns us another trophy. And we got our trophy, Gotham Knight. It's a bronze. What's up with that? So with the story completed, it was time to tackle all of this stuff here. I decided to begin with Harley's case file. Again, these missions get fleshed out with their own storyline and areas of the game for us to tackle. We fight our way through Harley's goons and have to continuously disarm some bombs that she is trying to detonate at the theater, you know, because she's crazy. And of course, we earn a trophy. To complete the Harley quest line, we continue fighting off some of her goons at the hospital and eventually get to confront her directly. The boss battles in this game are quite fun, I must say, and involve a mix of evading enemy attacks and learning their patterns before dishing out some of your own combos while of course making use of momentum abilities. After a few minutes, we take her down, thus closing her case file and of course earning a trophy. He is almost dead. Few more hits. Here we go. Universal Health Scare. I like the name of that trophy. The next villain case file we're pursuing is that of Clayface. And let me tell you, this was one of the best side quest storylines in the game by far. We start by investigating a lead from some footstep trails and get into a high-speed chase through Gotham City on our Bat Cycle. Listen, These could have been boring side quests where an NPC tells us to fetch an item or hunt an enemy, but these case files get their own content you don't see anywhere else in the game. I already completed the story and there is no main mission that is comparable to this one right here. We chase Clayface underground and search his hideout to confront him directly and get into a fight with him and his goons. Nothing too crazy again because by now I'm super high level and have amazing equipment, and after another cutscene we get our trophy. The show mud go on. To finish off Clayface's case file, we confront him one more time and start fighting before another chase scene on our Batcycle.
There is a smelting factory west of your position. There is a smelting factory west of your.
Once we get to a more suitable location for the fight, we take him on fair and square, and he of course proves to be no match for us, and we take him down for good. The third and final villain case file is Mr. Freeze. True to his name, the areas we're investigating have ice left behind, which leaves us no doubt about who we're chasing after now. Back to some true detective work, we scan our environment to look for clues as to what Freeze's plans are, which of course leads us to more trophies. Okay, so this might be the coolest side quest of them all. Look at this environment we're in right now. This looks like it would be part of the main storyline, but it's not. They really went all out on this storyline here. We get to climbing the Elliott Center, which is a prominent building in Gotham City that's been overtaken by Mr. Freeze. We fight plenty of his goons along the way while climbing our way to the top of the building, and once we reach the top, we get to thwarting Freeze's plans of freezing the entire city or something like that. And of course, we're confronted by Freeze himself, who is anything but chill because we want to stop him from killing everybody. We get to another boss fight involving learning some more patterns and dishing out attacks of our own. He makes this terrain around him. It's kind of annoying. His attacks are much slower than the other bosses, though. He's definitely easier. Come on. That didn't kill him. There we go, no problem. This dude Freeze is a menace though, because even in prison, he's causing a problem for us, so we start investigating and following his tracks, leading us immediately into another fight with him. Somehow he's gotten more powerful even though he's incarcerated. He's pulled out the big guns this time. Luckily my suit regenerates health for me, so this isn't too bad, but it's hard to do damage. That part about not being able to do a lot of damage was so true. I was just slowly chipping away at his health and using any ability I could. After a while, I finally got him whittled down to close his case file for good and earn a few trophies. There we go. Cool down. And end of an era, which is all villain case file. Feels good. With all of the story and side story missions out of the way, it was time to do all the miscellaneous and collectible stuff, starting with a trophy that I did not even know was coming. Protector of Gotham, complete 50 challenges. I wasn't even prepared for that one. Next, I decided to finish up all the basic trainings. Yes, you heard that right. This game offers basic training to learn the fundamentals, and I didn't even do them until after I beat the game. While going for the trainings trophy, you need to unlock all the abilities first, which is what I did. The reason being is they lock you out of specific trainings until you earn the corresponding ability first. A momentum occasion. I got all my abilities just now. Let's go. Now I can go do the training. So these two trophies right here go hand in hand. There we go, practice makes perfect. I should be able to get a trophy here for just switching characters, and we have to switch to all 4 characters one time, and then we get a trophy.
What does that mean?
Red Hood is the last character.
Them to an owl's methods.
The Batman family. I'm going back to Nightwing now. After that, I completed all of the secret caches around Gotham City. These are just short time challenges where we have to run through some quick markers, and then we get an audio log from Batman. These are very easy and are marked on the map, and after just a few, we earn our trophy. Right as soon as we collect this right here. Gotham City Confidential. Alright, let's talk about the Batcycle challenges now. There's only 6 in the game and they're actually really fun to do. They're not very difficult at all and they give you plenty of time to complete them. They even add time every time you pass a checkpoint. I actually wish there were more of these races or that they were harder because I quickly made it to the last race. Do this.
Let's go.
I just hit the top of that light post. What? There's less time. I think I have less time on this one than other ones.
Yep.
The traffic gives you a little bit of trouble with these races, but overall not too bad. The reason why I say that is because you can crash into... Oh, I just lost. Honestly, of course I would mess up and lose the race just after saying I wish they were harder and after saying it's okay to hit something during the race. Listen, I'm not perfect, okay, but I jumped right back into the race to win this time and earn our trophy. Okay, trophy time. Bat out of hell. Let's go. Alright, we need to talk about the collectibles, which are underratedly grindy in this game. They consist of 42 Historia Strigidae, hope I said that right, 60 Batarangs, 40 landmarks, and 12 murals, all of which are not marked on the map. I started with the Historia Strigidae for no particular reason. These are basically pages ripped out of a history book and hidden in the most obscure locations you can think of. I mean, to prove my point, the very first hidden page is hidden inside of a cemetery. That's absurd if you ask me. We have to fly around the entire city visiting places like an old factory just for pages out of this book. There's also hidden pages just hidden in the bricks of random buildings or on the exterior walls of prominent buildings like churches around the city. We're supposed to be keeping Gotham City safe from lunatics, but instead we're here collecting pages like it's Gotham City's version of the Thievius Raccoonus. But anyways, we earn a trophy. Okay, this should be the last one for a trophy.
I think I'll take that.
Read all about it. They have a lot of puns with all their trophies, I've noticed. Nice. Collecting the Batarangs was no different. I could not help but think that Batman was going out of his way to hide his precious Batarangs from his disciples, and it made me think that he did not even want us to find these things in the first place. If not for us, what purpose would these Batarangs serve being hidden in such obscure locations around the city? This man has us climbing construction equipment and reaching the top of church towers just to retrieve his precious hardware. Let me tell you, I was very happy to be done with collecting these.
There you are.
The murals were a lot easier since they were so easy to scan and there were only 12.
This is it.
Okay, so this should be the last mural right here for a trophy. See?
There we go.
Claiming the mural high ground, let's go. The landmarks were pretty easy as well. We just scanned some notable buildings around the city, and for some reason I was in a multiplayer game while doing this. I don't know who this is, they just showed up. Finally made it to the last one, we should get our trophy. History Major. Man, I think that's all the collectibles. Nope, there was one more, which was to protect Batman's identity. This sounds a little strange, but really what we're doing is sneaking into some police department locations and uploading fake data into their servers about Batman's real identity. I know that sounds crazy, this is literally a crime, but you know, we'll ignore that because we're good guys.
I just finished uploading
Oh, that was the
files
last
to the
one.
server.
Oh, we got our trophy, solid alibi, nice. Finally, with all the collectibles done, all we had left to do was fight a ton of enemies for several different trophies. Of course, to do this, we needed some good gear, and I ended up getting a trophy for crafting some legendary equipment. Now I can make a legendary ranged weapon. That's 2 out of 3, and I just need to make a suit, and then I get that last trophy there. So apparently I do have, I don't know when I got this, but I have a legendary suit, so I believe I should get a trophy as soon as I craft this right here. There we go, dress to impress, nice. So we're at the point of the video and game where we mindlessly fight crimes over and over until we defeat enough enemies to earn a trophy. Oh nice, out of their league, defeat 45 League of Shadows assassins and 30 Rocketeers. Yeah, this part wasn't fun. It got to the point where I lowered the difficulty so every enemy died instantly, which made this much faster. Oh, I got a trophy! Shock till they drop. I'm just grinding out the 250 crimes. We got the regulators, nice, that's one more down. At the same time, I still have to stop 250 crimes total, so fighting these enemies was still contributing to that total. Oh, there we go, drone you out, that's another one done. So that's the regulators done, which is one of the factions. There we go, talented. I was worried about this one because there's no tracker for the 40, 25, and 15, so I'm glad that one's out the way.
We have reports of kidnapping in progress.
You ready?
Finally, bulldoze. We finally, there's only one type of enemy left. I've been fighting those guys for like hours because they don't always show up. There we go, another one that took forever. So all I had left to do was stop 250 crimes and reach level 40. The only way to reach level 40 is actually to start a new game plus, so that's what I did. I was actually leveling up really quickly since fighting even regular enemies gave us quite a bit of XP. Pretty soon I was able to stop 250 total crimes to earn our second to last trophy.
Down for the count.
Oh, I just got to 250 crimes. Nice. I was soon only one level away from max level, and I was literally speechless. So I just want to show my hours played real quick. We are at 36, basically 40 hours for Gotham Knights. And to finally reach the last level, all I had to do was finish up this quest. There we go. He'd be so proud of you. Heir to the cowl. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to click on that video right there to watch another Platinum Trophy video just like this one, where I edited down the entire game into one single video. Click there.